Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're looking at 30 times celebrities ended their careers on television.
Show me a single self-respecting man that would like to climb into bed with that woman, ever.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 30, Jacob Rees-Mogg.
And as Big Ben strikes 10, exit poll is predicting a Labour landslide.
Sir Keir Starmer will become Prime Minister with a majority of around 170 seats.
His career has been killed, and it was broadcast on TV. Rees-Mogg was one of many senior Tories, along with Liz Truss and Penny Mordaunt, who spectacularly lost their seats in 2024. And it just so happened that a documentary crew was filming Rees-Mogg and his family throughout it all.
Labour has got 39%.
And you've got 34%.
Oh, okay.
And Reform has got 13%.
Right, yes.
It was all over for him just 2 episodes into the series, with the rest dedicated to showing him pottering about in his country house, not knowing what to do with himself. It all became desperately boring. With his political career annihilated, he's since pivoted to commentary over on GB News. Even this documentary didn't get another series.
Jacob William Rees-Mogg, Conservative Party candidate, 15,420. Dan Norris, Labour Party, 20,739.
Number 29, Winn Evans. In 2024, Winn Evans, better known as Joe Campario, was raked over the coals for groping professional dancer Katia Jones on Strictly.
Dancing the tango, Winn Evans and Katia Jones.
Though the duo were united in saying it was a joke, he was later booted from the live tour after making another joke that he says was misinterpreted. His career has been in freefall since then, even losing his regular radio gig, though in June 2025, he reappeared to try and rehabilitate his image.
I didn't know there was a reporter still there recording, apparently, on their phone. From quite a distance away.
He talked about how he'd been relentlessly harassed by the press, not knowing how to deal with the sudden tabloid intrusion into his life. It seems that this interview has done the trick with the public, but will the work come back? Only time will tell.
Even though I'm looking at Jamie, they claim that I'm directing this word at Jeanette.
Number 28, David Walliams.
Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, 4 judges, including one very handsome one, let's call him David, set off on an epic journey around the country.
His glitzy TV career petered out after he made offensive comments about a contestant while still being recorded on Britain's Got Talent, which were brought to the public's attention in 2022. Over 2 years later, and Walliams was ready to make his grand return to TV on the Christmas edition of Would I Lie to You?
Right, let me come amongst you now, try and find my lucky voice.
After bringing a lawsuit against Fremantle for claiming that his BGT sacking had made him so paranoid about things leaking that he lost the ability to be funny, he only went and did something else so outrageously offensive that it immediately leaked. Reports say that he did a Nazi salute in front of the audience and fellow panelists. The BBC says the footage won't be broadcast.
They rounded up all the
Peter! They rounded up all the passengers on deck and singled out Peter and I and took us hostage, which meant we missed the buffet.
Number 27, Null Edmunds.
All I did was ask of the person you're referring to a question. I've never said negative thinking causes cancer.
Most of this actually happened as a result of things he said on Twitter, but he was promptly brought onto This Morning to explain himself. According to Edmunds, he hadn't actually said that negative energy causes cancer, even when Holly Willoughby read his tweet back out, and it sounded like it was exactly what he'd said.
You said, is it possible your ill health is caused by your negative attitude?
A question.
To a man who's got cancer.
Elsewhere, Null Edmunds has become unpalatable in other ways, like his constant NIMBYism over onshore wind turbines, saying that the wind industry is lobbying for more renewable energy. It's no wonder he got voted off I'm a Celeb first, even after ITV spent all that money.
I believe doctors and scientists who say that disruption of our immune system by negative energy makes you prone to diseases of which cancer is one.
Number 26, James Corden.
You're probably wondering why I'm holding this rose.
The shine was coming off James Corden for a long time. As soon as he started doing The Late Late Show and moved his family to LA, people started to get sick of him. Over the years, reports of his rudeness and ego proliferated, culminating in his infamous restaurant incident in 2022. Corden was banned from a restaurant in New York after being cruel to the staff, causing a scandal he was forced to publicly address.
I made a rude comment, and it was wrong. It was an unnecessary comment. It was ungracious to the server.
But it's clear that that was the beginning of the end. He's returned to the UK and had his last hurrah in the finale of Gavin and Stacey, but has become significantly less visible than he used to be.
No, I was saying that! I was going to be the person that said that! I'm saying that!
Number 25, Stuart Manning.
I'm gonna have a rat tonight. I'm not even kidding. I mean, we can put it on a little twig and just
roast it.
Roast it.
Gino D'Acampo got a lot of flack for this, but the ringleader was undoubtedly Hollyoaks star Stuart Manning. Manning was the one who suggested that they should kill one of the wild rats running around the jungle, initially suggesting that they should spit roast it. With Gino's help, they filleted it and cooked it up in the risotto, with ITV later getting fined for animal cruelty by the Australian RSPCA.
Are you up for that? Because, I mean, I think, you know, it would be meat substance for us. Protein, good. You know, real good stuff for us.
Since then, though, Stuart Manning has said that work dried up, and that he became known not as an actor, but just as a generic celebrity. He briefly returned to Hollyoaks only to get killed off for good, and that's been about it for years.
Are you up for eating rat, ladies?
No. I'll give it a go.
I'd give it a go.
Because we're going to cut out really small.
I'll give it a go.
Number 24, Nicola Gil.
Well, Nicola, I have to say I've got more than a big surprise for you. Because I know what you're at. And I feel awfully deeply saddened by this.
You can't really work as an undercover investigative journalist if everybody in the UK knows who you are, which is probably what Scylla was banking on when she exposed Nicola on television. After Nicola successfully won a date, Cilla Black revealed to the entire Blind Date studio and subsequently the entire country that she was a journalist doing a story for Cosmopolitan.
You don't work as a temporary secretary. I know for a fact that you're an undercover journalist and you've robbed somebody of coming on a proper blind date. You work for Cosmopolitan magazine.
Worse, she had a fiancé, and the date meant even less. While her career as a writer has continued, she was actually betrayed by somebody else at Cosmo, who outed her to a blind date producer. It's clear she'd never have got another gig going undercover on TV.
She's a journalist, ladies and gentlemen, not a blind date at all. Is that right? Yes, is that right?
Are you being serious, Philip?
I am being serious, yes.
Number 23, Aean Holmes.
What I don't accept is mainstream media immediately slapping that down as not true when they don't know it's not true.
You make one comment about how there needs to be more research done into whether phone signals can cause a virus outbreak, and suddenly ITV's giving you the sack, and you're having to do exposés about how much you hate Philip Schofield over on GB News.
I do. I know.
What a don't be stupid. Don't be stupid.
And Eamon's never actually left GB News, eventually getting the gig hosting the channel's weekly breakfast show, where nobody is going to fire him for questioning what the mainstream media has to say about things.
And you seem to take it personally, or seems to say that I'm insulting all sort of people who've got all sorts of conditions.
After a decades-long career at ITV, he burned all his bridges, including the one to his former wife, Ruth Langsford. Once a beloved duo, they're now separated.
Just before we move on, I'd just like to thank people for your support for Ruth and I over the last few days as to the news of our separation.
Number 22, Piers Morgan.
This is the final Piers Morgan Live after 3 years, 2 months, 11 days and over 1,000 shows, I'm departing to spend more time with my cricket bat.
After being involved in high-profile scandals at both the News of the World and the Daily Mirror, Piers Morgan decided to leave Blighty entirely, going over to the US to host America's Got Talent. He was a regular on American TV for a while, and then, in 2011, got a prestigious evening slot on CNN hosting Piers Morgan Live.
I'd also like to thank you all for watching, even those who implacably disagree with me or just found my funny accent annoying.
It was this, more than anything outrageous he said or done, that destroyed his career across the pond, because nobody watched Piers Morgan Live. They apparently just didn't want to listen to him wade into debates about gun control, having spent most of his life in the UK. And then he ended his mainstream broadcasting career a second time when he quit GMB.
As Sir Winston Churchill said, if you have an important point to make, don't try and be subtle or clever. Use a pile driver.
Number 21, Angus Deon.
This has been one story of the week, isn't it? But the one I'm really interested in, Angus, is...
It took years for Deon to reappear on our screens following his departure from Have I Got News for You. Tabloids reported that he'd been spotted taking illegal substances and hiring sex workers, which was the biggest story of the week when it happened in 2002.
Angus was the best lover I've ever had, and you didn't pay her?
To his credit, he did try to return as host, but it was determined that he'd lost his authority and the BBC dropped him. That was despite most of the public wanting him to stay.
I wondered if she was wired. She was wired? I don't think she was the only one that was wired.
He just about recovered, appearing in some scripted comedies, and then landing a hosting gig on Would I Lie to You? But then he got sacked again after criticising Jimmy Savile in 2007. The BBC didn't like that.
To go to all that kind of effort is just unbelievable.
Number 20, Harold Wilson. Did you know that former Labour Prime Minister Harold Wilson had a brief television career?
Let me introduce the lady described by Jim Callaghan as the sexiest thing on television.
Following his 2 terms in Number 10 and a long career as a leader of the Labour Party, Wilson decided to try his hand at TV presenting, and he headed over to the BBC. In October 1979, Wilson presented 2 shows of Friday night, Saturday morning, with disastrous results.
Who is the sexiest man on TV?
Oh, you mean next to you?
Well, I wasn't.
Terry Wogan, Barry Manilow, and you again.
While as a Prime Minister, Wilson accomplished a lot, as a presenter and interviewer, he was dire, asking inane questions and even getting guests to repeat themselves when he appeared not to hear their answers. Presenting television is harder than it looks, and nobody proved that more than Wilson.
In my youth, I did play Shakespeare, Desdemona, and things like that, but I'm a bit past it now, I think.
Now, tell me...
Say no.
Number 19, Null Clark. In 2021, articles began to appear in The Guardian detailing allegations made against Clark by various women. In all, allegations from 26 individuals were released, and Clark's career came to a standstill.
Detective drama Viewpoint has filled ITV's prime-time slot every night this week, but tonight's final episode has been cancelled.
Episodes of his shows were pulled, series were cancelled, and he was suspended from the BAFTAs. The Met got involved, but later said the allegations, ranging from harassment to Clark trying to ruin other people's careers, wouldn't be investigated further.
They allege Clark is a serial abuser of women, using his power in the industry to prey on and harass female colleagues.
Clark has since mounted a defamation case against The Guardian to the tune of £10 million.
But it has now emerged that a fortnight before this ceremony, the organisation had received anonymous emails with allegations about Mr. Clark.
Fellow Doctor Who alumni John Barrymore has also seen his work dry up following resurfaced stories of him exposing himself on set, though he's apologised repeatedly. Number 18, Jeremy Kyle. To a degree, Jeremy Kyle has made a return to broadcasting in the wake of the 2019 scandal that shocked Britain, though many would prefer he stayed off the airwaves for good.
The show finished?
Yes.
After 14 years, rather suddenly?
After the tragic death of a guest who appeared on the show, Steve Diamond, it was permanently taken off the air. Many said that the Jeremy Kyle show should have ended years sooner, or perhaps should have never been made at all, and others said Kyle himself should face criminal charges for his part in the incident.
I think initially, I think I suffered from real shock.
But shockingly, in 2022, Kyle made a limited return to television by fronting a show on Talk TV, ranting about the dangers of cancel culture.
So you lost a job, you worked hard at, you feel sorry for a lot of people, but there's people dying.
Number 17, Chris Morris.
A spokesman said, "This is the one thing we didn't want to happen."
It's only Morris's TV career that's died. He was a satirical titan in the 1990s, creating the Day-to-Day alongside Armando Iannucci and eventually leading Brass Eye on his own. But in 2001, the Pedogeddon special aired, and it was so mind-blowingly controversial that Morris's career in mainstream television essentially ended.
Good night, children. They're safe tonight. Are yours?
He'd later transition into film, making 4 Lions, and would also appear in The IT Crowd, but crucially, he didn't write any of The IT Crowd.
Baltimora. This means literally, I'm running at them now with my trousers down.
It's clear that Morris's days as a writer and leading creative in British TV were numbered from the beginning, and his satire is just as biting today as it was when it was new. Number 16, Lawrence Fox. Time and time again, Fox has embarrassed himself on our TV screens.
Do you regret saying that? Because it's slightly, I would say, of all the things that you've said in the last 2 weeks, I've been cheering you on right to that point.
His descent began years ago, but he had a particularly notable appearance on Question Time in 2020, where he made widely condemned comments about white privilege. Since then, Fox unsuccessfully ran to be Mayor of London, got himself sacked from GB News for comments made about journalist Ava Evans, and then found himself arrested in October 2023.
As you've noticed, I say quite a lot of unfortunate things, but I think it's really important that one is able to express one's opinion.
This was for conspiring to damage ULEZ cameras in London. Fox hasn't appeared as an actor on television since 2020, and it doesn't look likely he'll be back on screens anytime soon.
Are you worried about the impact on your career as an actor? Because the acting world is very woke in many ways. Are you worried about that?
We'll have to wait and see.
Number 15, Jeremy Clarkson. His time at the BBC ended on a sour note when he was embroiled in a producer punching scandal.
Why didn't your contract get renewed? What went wrong? The whole Top Gear.
It was tricky, and there were tricky times.
The BBC didn't renew Clarkson's contract, and James May and Richard Hammond walked out with him in solidarity. They'd go on to make the Grand Tour for Amazon, but in January 2023, Amazon announced it was going to, quote, part ways with Clarkson.
It was really hard. It was just getting harder and harder to do that show because it was getting bigger and bigger all the time.
That's despite the Grand Tour and Clarkson's Farm both being runaway successes. It all happened because Clarkson made disparaging remarks about the Duchess of Sussex in The Sun. The Grand Tour still has some specials left to come, but Clarkson was found by regulators to have discriminated against Markle.
All I can say is, when you send Amazon a film, their television people in Los Angeles, they ring up and squeak with joy.
Number 14, George Galloway.
This is a whole film about your sort of accusations of Tony Blair, but what do you think should happen to the former Prime Minister?
Well, it's about accountability.
Like Harold Wilson, George Galloway is best known as a political figure, though he never got anywhere near Downing Street, and he likely never will, since he's not yet lived down his scandalous appearance on Big Brother. He ended up pretending to be a cat for Coronation Street's Rula Lenska, who encouraged the whole extremely weird episode.
But because if you don't punish people for such wrongdoing,
why should the next group of leaders do anything differently?
Though by this point, Galloway had already been kicked out of the Labour Party, his Big Brother incident surely made him persona non grata all over again, and he was soon kicked out of Parliament entirely. He's gone on to have one controversy after another ever since.
It was no longer a Labour Party by the time he left it.
What do you mean by that?
Well, he called it New Labour, but that was really non-Labour, and by the end it was anti-Labour.
Number 13, Philip Schofield. Following months of controversy and speculation, Philip Schofield's long television career ended in 2023 when he stepped down from This Morning.
Philip Schofield has now walked away completely from the network after admitting he lied to his bosses and the public about an affair.
Following his brother's conviction of various offences, Schofield admitted publicly that long-standing rumours about him having an affair with a much younger man were, in fact, true.
He said he had not been truthful because he wanted to protect the colleague who he had helped to get a job on the programme as a teenager.
He said the relationship was, quote, unwise but not illegal, though many still wondered about the uneven power dynamics when the person he had an affair with worked as a runner on This Morning. Schofield and the young man denied the affair to everyone until it couldn't be hidden anymore, and Schofield has now completely disappeared from broadcasting.
Tonight, he confirmed that he's quit ITV altogether, apologising for lying to the broadcaster.
Number 12, Prince Andrew.
I'd taken Beatrice to a Pizza Express in Woking for a party.
If you can call being born into the royal family a career, Prince Andrew certainly destroyed his during this appearance on Newsnight.
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat.
He was interviewed for the long special about allegations he was involved with Jeffrey Epstein's trafficking operation made by one of Epstein's victims, Virginia Giuffre.
Because she was very specific. She described the dance that you had together in Tramp. She described meeting you. She was a 17-year-old girl.
The Duke of York purportedly thought he'd done a good job in the interview, but when it aired, it turned out he'd done more damage to the royal family than anybody else in recent memory.
She provided a photo of the two of you together.
Yes.
Your arm was around her waist.
His stories about going to Pizza Express in Woking and a bizarre claim that he's unable to sweat since the Falklands will haunt him forever. Number 11, Michael Barrymore. In 2001, a man named Stuart Lubbock was found unconscious in the swimming pool of TV star Michael Barrymore's home.
All three were released without charge. But the damage to Michael's career seemed irreversible.
He later died, and initial investigations determined that Lubbock was likely a victim of foul play. Barrymore and his other guests were interviewed by police numerous times, but no one was ever charged. Lubbock's death remains unsolved, but Barrymore has rarely appeared on TV since.
Michael Parker, me, has an alibi from 3 people in the period immediately prior to the discovery of Stuart in the pool. I therefore conclude that there is insufficient evidence against all 3 suspects.
Other people involved at the time say they believe a cover-up has happened, and the investigation has been closed and reopened many times. As recently as 2021, a man was arrested, but was released without charge. Barrymore's consistently failed to resurrect his career.
The truth about this, Michael, isn't it, is that we may never know the truth.
Yes.
Number 10, Teddy Sinclair / Natalia Gills / Verbalicious. In the 5 years since her outburst on The X Factor in New Zealand during the short-lived show's 2nd season, Teddy Sinclair has become a household name in the UK. Oh wait, sorry, her alter ego Natalia Gills has. Nope. Well, what about Verbalicious? Well, her neither.
As an artist who respects
creative integrity and intellectual property. I am disgusted at how much you have copied my husband. From the hair to the suit, do you not have any value or respect for originality?
Okay, so British rock singer Teddy Natalia Verba Sinclair Kildalicious is not particularly well known in the UK, and that's probably because she has a career in New Zealand, or at least had one, before she ripped contestant Joe Irvine apart because he looked a little bit like her husband during the X Factor's first live show.
It's like Norman Bates dressing up in his mother's clothing. It's just a little bit creepy, and I feel like you're going to stitch someone's skin to your face and then kill everybody in the audience.
Sacked the next day, the pair claimed they were told to amp up the drama, although we're not convinced that was quite what was intended by the show bosses.
It's absolutely disgusting. You have no identity. I can't stand it. I'm ashamed to be here.
Number 9, Derek Akora.
Francis!
The late, extravagant ex-footballer turned medium, although we're using that term very lightly here, makes it to this list thanks to his involvement with the Most Haunted television series. The show where Akora was the resident medium speaking, again using the term lightly, to the long dead, was watched with raised eyebrows as he convulsed, talked in strange accents, but showed accurate knowledge of events that he was told by the spirits who possessed him. Great! That was until show producers smelled a rat and fed him false historical information about made-up people which he somehow became possessed by on air. His takeover by Creed Kafer, an anagram of Derek Faker, meant the only dead thing Akora would interact with from then on was his career.
Derek? Carl, come forward, Derek.
Number 8, Kerry Katona. This was a really tough entry, to be completely honest, because we're not convinced of who was really responsible for the demise of Katona's career. Nor do we think it's a particularly bad thing, given the trajectory of it at the time.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that it makes me like, wow, to how I am now, it's such a relief. I mean, they were so big.
When the former Atomic Kitten singer showed up on ITV's This Morning in 2008, slurring her words and unable to focus, surely alarm bells were ringing in producers' ears. Nope, instead they put her on air for Philip Schofield and Fern Britton to try and speak to.
I mean, your speech is a bit slurred. I mean, how are you feeling now? It is a bit.
That's maybe because I have medication at night time.
Do you?
Which I took about 11:30 last night, didn't I, Mark?
Luckily, it was evident to everyone else that she hadn't laid her addictions to rest, as she had claimed, killing off her TV career for then and giving her the needed impetus to start over when she was healthy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for answering our questions.
Not a problem,
thank you. You might have felt you were put on the spot. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Number 7, Shane Ritchie. We know what you're thinking, but WatchMojo, Shane Ritchie has a career. Yes, he does. But if we were to ask you what he was famous for, you wouldn't say movie star, which is what he intended.
They've got this character. It's going to be called Alfie Moon.
Instead, you'd probably say Daz, which killed his movie career. Okay, actually most of you younger viewers would say Alfie Moon, and you'd be right. But the last time we checked, EastEnders was a family soap, and Albert Square is definitely not a movie setting. By his own admission, taking on the Daz adverts in 1995 killed his attempts at a movie career stone dead.
How are you?
Oh, no!
Well, there you go. Another day, another door slammed.
A shame, really. He could have been the British Tom Cruise. Okay, maybe not.
Oh, yeah, it's got to go and tell you, see?
Number 6, Preston. Poor Preston. This one was a classic career suicide. Surely, he must have known that if you go up against a comedian with the wit of Simon Amstell, it's not going to end well.
Preston was worried it would alienate hardcore Ordinary Boys fans, but luckily, neither of them were in the country. Or existed.
Nor did it, as Preston found the typical jabs on guests to be excessive, and did a runner from an episode of Buzzcocks.
The Paris Hilton work was a low point for me. It wasn't what I wanted to be doing, and on top of that, it caused me some real problems with my hair.
The problem for Preston was that the episode arguably got funnier without the Ordinary Boys frontman, as Bill Bailey replaced the singer with an audience member called Ed. You'd have thought his strop would have created some controversy to play off, but we're struggling to remember any Preston appearance or song ever since.
Preston, we're having fun!
Alright.
Come on, Preston. Oh no, we can't lose Preston.
I guess he thought he's been voted out.
Number 5, Kim Woodburn.
I know what I went through.
Now let her rant on.
I know what I went through.
Awful. It was
Why do you
awful what
think
you
you-
went through, Kim.
The late Kim Woodburn was the anthropomorphic personification of a forest fire, which is why her name was so incredibly apt. Her original break into TV was on How Clean Is Your House? Later, the Queen of Clean tore through the jungle during the 2009 edition of I'm a Celeb, having her fair share of to-dos. But on Celebrity Big Brother 19, she made enemies left, right and centre, once prompting security intervention.
You know what you did, and I'm going to tell you something.
I tell you what I did. I
Just a
didn't
minute.
tell you how vile you are from day one. That's
You,
what
my
I should
dear,
have done.
you, my dear.
You're a horrible, self-centered, publicity-seeking witch.
She rarely appeared on TV since, especially after loose women ganged up on her. But maybe she didn't mind, since she was very open about CBB paying her a fortune for her time in the house.
I don't want to draw a line on
You don't want
because
to
I will
pick-
never forget what the likes of her and 7 others put me through.
Okay, well,
I'll never forget it, never.
But,
because
Kim,
it was
every
sad and
reality-
awful and it was bloody cruel.
Number 4, Shawn Walsh. Comedian Shawn Walsh's place on this list is based on technicality. After all, the career-killing moments was not really broadcast on TV, but the aftermath certainly was. Walsh fell prey to the Strictly curse. During the 16th series of Strictly Come Dancing, Walsh shared a kiss with dancing partner Katya Jones, despite both being romantically involved with other people. In a drama that was more suited to EastEnders than an extravagant dancing competition, Walsh and Jones were paraded in front of cameras to publicly apologise. However, rumours circulated, and Walsh has been paying for it ever since.
I made a mistake, which I'm very sorry for. I'm sorry for the hurt that I've caused.
Number 3, Jillian McKith.
Here we are again at the Bush Tucker trial area. Are you at the end of your tether yet?
Yeah, I feel deflated.
It is quite surprising that poo doctor Jillian McKith has a career, to be honest, as there are a significant number of questions as to whether she even has a PhD. That's another story though, as it's her career as a television presenter that took a nosedive, or rather a swan dive, after being voted as the participant of the Unfair Ground Challenge. Maybe Dr. McKeith, possibly PhD, supposedly fainted, forcing the show to go to break and a different celeb to step up.
Let's get Bob in. Bob.
Okay, bring the oxygen in, please.
We say supposedly as the fall was so very graceful. We don't know why she thought we'd take it seriously. It was her supposed second faint in 2 days. Her acting wasn't even that good either.
I think it's best if we go to a break right now and give Gillian the attention she needs. We'll find out if she can do it after the break.
Number 2, David Icke. If we were to say David Icke's name to you, what would you say he was famous for? You could say author, presenter, conspiracy theorist, and even footballer, and you might be right.
The press claim that you claim to be the Son of God.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Yes, you see, the thing is that it's quite funny, really.
But Icke is probably going to be best remembered for 2 words: lizard people. His book alleged that world leaders are shape-shifting aliens, which would be great if he was A, comedy science fiction author, and B, not someone who claimed to be the son of a godhead.
I'm delighted that there's so much laughter in the audience tonight.
But no, it's a...
But just let me say this.
They're laughing at you. They're not laughing with you.
Why he would say this in an interview with the late Terry Wogan in 1991 is probably explained in one of his books, so if you fancy a laugh, then have a read. Oh, not sci-fi, and not comedy either. Oh, bad.
I am asking no one in this theatre, no one watching this programme, no one on this planet to believe a word of it.
Number 1, Roxanne Pallett.
I got it wrong.
Yeah.
I really got it wrong.
Now, what was Roxanne Pallet famous for? After a moment of a puzzled expression and silence, we'd have to remind you that she was an actress. Still not sure? She was in Lake Placid 3. No? Devil's Tower? What about Wrong Turn 6 Last Resort? Okay, fine, she was in Emmerdale for a bit, but brought controversy to CBB 22, with Pallet alleging that eventual winner Ryan Thomas had punched her repeatedly.
My mind ran away with me. I am a sensitive person, only my family and friends can vouch for that.
Problem is, there are cameras in the house, obviously, and they showed that Punchgate was a fabrication vindicating Thomas and KOing Pallet's career.
In the moment, it felt worse than it was. I can't prove a feeling. I can't show you a feeling.
Many would say she reaped what she sowed, but we were really looking forward to Wrong Turn 7, easily proven falsehood.
I massively apologise to not just Ryan, to his family, his friends, his fans, every single person that watched that.
Which celebrity did we miss? Let us know in those comments below.
And you, leave the kids alone. Or else.